don't withstand that if you don't have character. You don't withstand that if you don't have substance. Um, yeah, you got to have really good players. But I thought our, weird day. It was a weird day. I'm laying in my recliner. Kind of got 15, 20 minutes. Just eyes closed. I look. Nebraska's up. They're down 10. I said, yeah, let me kind of. I never watch a game on TV, so I kind of flipped to my phone, and all of a sudden they're up one, and now the old heart starts racing, and I sure wasn't ever going to turn the dadgum thing on TV because it would, but it's a crazy game. It's the best league in the country because of that, and then we get a team that's won 8 of 9, has one of the best players in the country, and fall down 15. We're short Jacob Grandison, who's been instrumental for us all year. You guys know I have more confidence in Jake than anybody. But insert Coleman Hawkins, 37 minutes, 11 rebounds. I told him before the game he had to have 12 for us to win. Big three. And at the end of the first half was the biggest stretch, going on a 9-0 run to get it where it was manageable. We told our team for 2 days, they're a team of runs. They had the 21-2 run in the game in Iowa City. So we withstood it, and Plummer made a big basket at the half, and our defense finally settled in. But it took everyone. And 5 years ago, I was wondering if we'd ever get out of the Wednesday game, and we weren't even close. And then for Trent and DeMonte, to go out this way is, and this is why I do this, is to see guys that, I don't know, just have all the success, stay with it, grind through it. Really happy for those guys, and but I'm happy for Champaign-Urbana. I'm happy for the state of Illinois. It's been a long time coming. It's a great program, and I'm very privileged to be the head basketball coach here. So now we got to go, enjoy this one a little bit and get ready for Friday.
Jeremy?
You said you want to bring more banners and trophies here, but to get this Big Ten regular season championship, given last year, given what this program was 5 years ago, what's it mean to actually get a share of the Big Ten title for your program?
A lot. It's the best league in the country. I think last year was the #1 rated league in the history of college basketball, and we won 16 games. And to follow that up, losing a first-team All-American, a guy who's arguably one of the best rookies in the NBA, in Ayo Dosunmu, to lose, Georgie, to lose Ace, and to be able, and then a whole staff. I couldn't be prouder of my staff. I'm ecstatic with this group of guys. It's really hard, and the old staff was fantastic. They're a big part of this, but it's really hard to have chemistry right, and to be able to bring guys in. They don't know me like that on the court, and they don't know what our program's about. And for that to happen, synergy is important, and we lost a lot. But Trent Frazier, DeMonte Williams deserve all of the credit for keeping that locker room right, and Kofi. And so it means a lot. It means a lot. That'll be one that I'm pretty proud of. I lived the fight every day.
Way back in the right.
Brad, for Trent and DeMonte's first game to be the Eastern Illinois game and their last game to be that, what does it say about how far they've brought the program in their time here?
I don't know if you can go any further. I mean, we were about as bad as you could be in one way, and you become a Big Ten champion in the best league in the country, and do it a couple years. Man, that's about as big a spectrum and as wide a gap as you can possibly get, because we were a really bad basketball team that night in Charleston.
Good.
Coach, can you comment on a couple of defensive performances that seemed to change the game in the second half? Andre Curbelo and Coleman Hawkins.
Yeah, Dre's such an elite defender. And we had him on a couple of different matchups. They hurt us. With Perkins has been tremendous, and hurt us with his size and physicality. He was on the offensive glass, and then Coleman's got a chance to be one of the elite defenders in the country, and his length I thought bothered Keegan. 7 of 22. He got 22 points, but he took 22 shots. Feel pretty good about that. And he did a great job on him in the first game. But, I think the other one, Doug, is Kofi guarding Chris. And, he did a really good job on Murray and on Chris, and it was a matchup problem in the first go-around, and I thought he did a nice job. But after we got out of the first half, and made that little comeback, I felt like our defense had some teeth after that.
Back in the far right, you good?
After the past 5 years with all the ups and downs you've had, having this be the last game with Trent and DeMonte, is this one of the most special parts of your job or your career?
That's why I do it. That's why we do it. They come in as little boys, and I mean that. And they call it boys basketball in high school. Now it's men's basketball. And to see them grow, and to see them go through all the struggles and the trials and tribulations, not just on the court, but off the court. That's why you do it. And those are two guys that are going to be really, really successful because of all the stuff they went through here. They're going to be really successful in whatever their endeavors take them. But meantime, I'd like about 9 more games with them.
Derek?
Knowing what was at stake and what the opportunity presented with Nebraska winning, how did you approach that with your guys, and how did they handle that?
Never said a word. They knew. I mean, if I got to say something, that that was the first 2 years. The first 2 years, I had to spell everything out. They knew what was there, and they were texting me, and so it was more about dealing with the emotion of. I was more worried about the emotion of having senior night and trying to get through that and get them energized and going, and senior days are tough.
Right here on the right.
Coach, much closer rebounding margin in this game than the one a few months ago. What growth have you seen from Iowa in that category in this game, and maybe just what have you seen from them, especially over the last month or so?
Well, defensively, right now they've got the best DER in the league since they put Perkins, I think, in the lineup, and that's an 8-9 game stretch. They're one of the teams that has a unique capability to play 2 different ways, and they can play really small and spread you out and drive you, and the Twins are elite at it. It helped Jordan today because we felt like if Jordan and Keegan both got going, it was going to be a hard night. But and then Rebraca gives them a post presence and some size. So, but they're playing very, very hard. They're playing as hard as anybody we've played, and their lineup change helped them, in my opinion.
Dan?
Brad, you had some potential program pieces in the building tonight, watching the game. What does not only the championship in the big picture, but the moment itself, the court storming and all that stuff, what does that do for perception of the program and in terms of recruiting? How does that help?
Well, if they didn't enjoy that, and then go someplace else, and we're going to kick their ass. If you didn't get to have a moment and enjoy that, so I would, guys like Kofi and Trent and all those. That's why we sell that. We sell winning championships, and we sell the opportunity to be in the best league in the country, to play in front of our fans, and to be in games like this. Now, they're gonna get elevated, here in the next month, but that's why we're here. And that's why each one of these guys are here, and they enhance their, they grow as people being in those games. And yet for those young guys that we're all here today to watch us and watch that and to, watch Kofi and now to have the state tournament back here in this building where that just happened. Oh, that's pretty cool. And I'm ecstatic. There's so many people to thank for the state tournament, but it belongs here. And they can envision moments like they just saw tonight.
Julie.
Brad, when you replay that scene after the game, whatever point you do, what moments, what snapshots will stand out to you?
Well, Josh about broke my neck with the hug, and it was really hot. Here's the beauty of all that. I've been blessed in my career to be a part of. It encompasses so many people, and college athletics is the single greatest sport because it creates memories that last a lifetime. And everybody that was on that court tonight that was a student will remember that moment for the rest of their life. And we all will, because we were participants, but they were there. They were a part of it. And to me, that's what this is all about. And it's our community, it's our university, it's our state. And it's a great group of guys who they actually got to see and touch, and maybe they do that already at one of the establishments on Green Street, but they get to enjoy that moment and share it with them. And to me, that's what this thing's all about.
Alex.
Brad, when you think back 5 years ago to Josh first calling you and seeing your interest in this job, and call it your dream job, to win a Big Ten championship here, just through this entire process, did you ever think that it wouldn't happen?
That's really easy. And I think the one thing maybe you guys don't know me yet, but there's not 1 second I ever thought that it would not happen. Is that me? I don't think that way. I don't look backwards. I self-evaluate all the time, but I have. Do I need something else? That work? So I don't ever think that way. And Kofi knows, that losing's not acceptable. I've said that a bunch. Winning's darn hard, but losing's not acceptable. And I've never thought for a second that we wouldn't get it done. It's too good a job, and we had too many things with great synergy that were working the right way. The State Farm Center being redone and raising money for Ubben and the hardest thing was just actually starting to win. So we became somewhat sexy with recruits. And but I don't ever doubt that. I don't ever doubt that. I try to surround myself with good people, and they're positive, and we work, and that's been a big part of it.
Coleman's missed dunk maybe had the potential to be maybe a bad moment. How did he stay locked in over the next couple minutes and keep playing at the level that he was at?
Yeah, I hope that's growth and maturity, and son of a gun needs some hops, man. I mean, I don't know how you miss that, but no, he made the right play, and just one of those deals, and he's mature, he's growth, and I'm not sure he would have reacted that way 6 games into this season.
Brett, it seems important to you that you got somebody with Illinois in their blood, like Chester Frazier. He was a freshman when the 17-year drought happened. Like, he was obviously very emotional after winning one. What's it meant to have him on your staff, and how do you feel like he's impacted having Illinois in his?
Yeah, he's orange and blue now. I mean, the first day I called him, I mean, he's telling me about the golf team and what they shot, and the regional tournament, and I mean, he follows it all. And that young guy is not just because he came to Illinois, but because he's really good at his job. And I've followed him for 10 years, and his personality, he's a great family man. His personality fit me. But no one has more sweat equity than him. I mean, he gets out there sometimes and plays with our guys and scout team, and he's got just as much pride doing that now as he did when he played. So yeah, that was an easy hire.
Brad, I'm going to actually ask about the game. In the first half, it seemed like your defense wasn't as good. What led to those kind of defensive breakdown? Was it too much energy, emotion, or was it just mistakes.
No, do you see where our pickup point was? Our pickup point, what I mean by that, I mean, Toussaint had a huge impact in the game during that stretch. And I mean, you know, one of the great challenges of playing basketball in space is you're in the corners. And a lot of times it's our really good shooters, and it's guards. And Keegan leaks out a little bit, and he rim runs, and then you've got to get those guys got to run a full 94 feet. Well, Toussaint, they were getting the ball out of that, and they'd practice it. They do a great job. It's one of Iowa's deals. And they sprint the ball down the court, and all of a sudden, Toussaint's at the Big Ten logo. And they were living in the paint. And so it was forcing help. And Kofi would come over to try to support. And then there was an offensive rebound. And, you know, if they did miss. So it was just it was a matter of getting back in transition. It was a matter of getting the ball stopped earlier. And, oh, that's so pretty. I kick my wife out of bed tonight and sleep with that thing. But it will be, that was a big part of it. And I think, you know, once we made them play in the half court, I felt pretty solid. But, you know, they're averaging 88 a game for a reason. They're not doing that just against us. They're doing that against a lot of people.
Coach, you look at the box score, it's another double-double for Kofi. Do you think
About time.
Do you think that gets taken for granted at all at sometimes? And with the postseason award season coming up, what's the case for him for Big Ten national player?
It should be in all of those. It should win all of those. Now, I went into a 4-game funk where, I mean, hell, Doug, you got more rebounds the last 3 games than he did, so. Right? Shit. I mean, but yeah, it's nice to see him back with double doubles. Do we take him for granted? No. And but he's a difference maker, and he's that on both ends. When Kofi plays with that elite energy, like he did today, Kofi's the most dominant player in college basketball, and that's the truth.
Brad, many people say the Big Ten is also the best conference for coaches. As a guy from the Florida junior colleges, 10 years in Macomb, what's it mean to be up there? Did you ever think you'd be up there as Big Ten champion, cutting down nets?
I mean, Jim, I don't know if I ever look at it that way. I coach the game for the game, and you know what? And this sounds, winning at Daytona Beach was really a good feeling too. And you just do it in front of a lot more. I coach because I love guys and the interaction and scheming and putting it together. And I don't mean to sound trivial, but gosh darn, winning's hard wherever you're at. And I've been really fortunate, believe in what we do. And but this one means something, you know, because it was I know where it was. And this one's got a little different feel because this one's something that, you know, as much as I wanted to win those first couple years, you know, it was not happening. So, but I'm not.
My fault, Coach.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying, am I?
Not at all.
So, but yeah, this is special.
We'll go to Jackson, and we'll take questions from players.
I think with about a minute left, a bunch of the fans started piling up near the exits about to storm the court. Did you notice that? And just what does that mean to see all the fans so excited about the program given where it was when you first arrived?
I did not notice. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's fun. I mean, that is, to me, a good court storm for a celebration. Gosh darn, man. I mean, that's what this thing's about, man. Our guys got to enjoy that with a lot of students and a lot of people, and to me, that's fun. I'm gonna go dry off. Great job, boys. They tell you we're practicing tomorrow?
Where we got off?
Enjoy that trophy. We'll go here.
The altar. Covered.
Left of Kofi, start left. He's blocking.
That's mine, B.
Can we go where Brad was sitting?
Hey, Kofi, can you bring that trophy down? What's wrong with
You're right, Kofi. You're right. Thank you.
I like doing that.
In front of Kent.
I guess Kofi and DeMonte, I mean, this program wasn't at this place now when you guys were being recruited. I guess what made you guys think that and believe that kind of this was possible when you guys were being recruited and kind of decided to come here?
That was my initial reason why I was coming here. Me and Trent, we talked about it when guys wanted their release. Take it back a long time from now, but yeah, that was just our whole main focus was to just get Illinois basketball back how it used to be.
Yeah, same for me, man. Like if you follow my story, you know that when I came on my visit here, we lost to Florida Atlantic, and you know it would probably like swayed a lot of people's decision, but for me it was like a motivation factor. You know, like I like taking on the challenge of changing something and making an impact. You know, having an impact on something and create something special like what we did. You know, these guys did a really good job of recruiting me. DeMonte was there with me 24/7 on my visit, made me feel loved, made me feel like I was needed, and it's just about that, man. Like just the love that they give, and just the fans, and just wanting to make a change.
Kofi, Coach Underwood said this. He thought this is one of your best defensive games. Do you feel that way too? And coming in against an Iowa team that scores a lot of points, was that a big focus for you?
Yeah, absolutely, man. We know how Iowa play. We know that Rebecca plays probably 18 to 20 minutes a game, and I knew that coming in with guards. You know, Chris Murray's a guard. You know, whoever came in, Connor McCaffrey was a guard. So I had that mental focus where I have to switch from backing up off the bracket to stepping up on Chris Murray or Connor McCaffrey, whoever it was. So it was just about mentally focusing in on that and making sure that I was aware whenever the substitutions happened that I changed the mindsets.
This is for each of you guys. When you think back on this tonight, tomorrow, what moments are going to stand out? And then I guess second, like what was important for you to do as soon as you heard the buzzer?
Oh, man. For me, it's a turning point in the game, man. You know where we went down a little bit, and you know, like guys just held each other accountable. You know, we just stepped up, we held each other accountable. We just made that flip from playing nonchalant to just being aggressive and playing with that championship mindset. You know, just the growth. You know, with these guys, just being there with them for so long, and to seeing that happen in the game, and it's so recognizable. You know, it was a special feeling for me, especially, man.
What's that? And you ain't bring me none?
Exactly. Selfish.
Chip, huh?
Same question.
Yeah, same question. What snapshots are going to stand out for you about the celebration and reflect on this?
It was really the turning point where Coleman just chasing down rebounds everywhere, and just seeing him playing with emotion and that translated over to everybody else playing with emotion, just finishing out the game. And then once the buzzer sounded, just seeing everybody just rush the court. I looked and turned around, almost got knocked over, hitting the back, because I wasn't really paying attention at first. But, yeah, just seeing everybody rush the floor and what just happened.
DeMonte, I think your whole life you heard about the success your dad here and winning Big Ten titles. To have him walk out with you on the day that you won one and knowing you can have stories to tell going forward, what goes through your mind there?
I mean, it's great accomplishments from both of us. Coming from a place where not too many really make it out, just stand to course and just working it out.
Jim in the back.
Hey, Monty, I want to follow up on that a little bit. Your dad was really emotional before the game when we talked to him.
He was?
He was very emotional before the game when we talked to him, and was really hoping he could leave as a Big Ten champion like he did 20 years ago. Do you think of that symmetry, and how much has your dad inspired you? I know you don't talk a ton about it, but how much has Frankie inspired you, your dad?
That's big time. you got my dad to be emotional.
I did.
I ain't.
Joey Wagner too.
Even I ain't never seen that. But yeah, I'm shocked. Still shocked on that. But say it again.
He said, man, I want him to win. I want him to be a Big Ten champ like I was. It would mean a lot to him. Just how close has your relationship been with your dad for 5 years, and how much have you kind of felt the symmetry of both of you going through this?
My relationship with my dad, we're really close. Even though we may not talk every day, because I mean he lived the college athlete life already, so he already knows like a lot of things that goes on. But yeah, just being able to talk to him and just listen to what he got to say, I really just take it in and embrace it.
Yeah, I guess this is mostly for Trent and DeMonte. You guys were part of a team that lost 21 games, most in program history. Did you ever think that this wouldn't happen at Illinois?
It's not funny, Kofi.
No. I think as time went on, being a part of this program, to see, I mean, honestly, I thought we had a pretty good team in our early years. I just think, as like Coach says, to win games and championships, your culture has to be, set. And I thought, it wasn't set yet. We were still rebuilding and trying to figure, things out. But, as time went on, we continue to get, culture guys, better players, and, just guys that bought into what Coach Underwood wanted. So I think, just sticking with it, through the ups and downs, made it, worth it.
In the far right, back in the back.
Monte, I believe this was a game or your 156th game. So where does this rank?
Why you had to say it like that?
Where does this rank on like the most memorable you've played?
I mean, it's definitely at the top. Yeah, but I mean, being around for that long and being blessed and not really going through injuries and stuff like that. I mean, it's always a good spot. But I mean, just winning is really, that's all I really care about.
For any of you guys or all you guys, at what point did you realize that Nebraska had won and the opportunity was there to win a Big Ten title? And what was communication like once that happened?
Yeah, we manifested that. We watching the game together as a team, and when the game ended, everybody was just so high, and Trent just kept reminding us, "Yo, don't get too high, man. We still gotta go out here and get the job done." He made sure that we were level-headed, we weren't too high. We reminded each other, reminded everybody not to get too high, not to get too low, but to go out there and do what we do, and we know we're capable of winning. So at the end of the day, it's just about going out there and just getting the job done. So we all watched it though. We all watched it. We saw the last seconds of the game. We were really happy. We got a shot to come out here and do this.
Kofi, you're on top of the ladder, cutting the net. I mean, it's obviously there's people everywhere, and they're chanting one more year for you. What's going through your mind as you kind of took in that scene?
I almost said it too. Yeah, man, that was special, man. It's just all emotions, all the things that were going through my mind in that moment. Cutting that net down and just feeling so much pride and happiness. It just felt right. I love being here, man, and everybody that associate myself with here has made me feel really special, and made me know how much I mean to this program. And that moment was special, man. I don't know how to answer that question, but that moment was so special. I was so happy in that moment to know that so many people wanted me, to come back.
For whoever maybe wants to tackle this, but Coleman hasn't played those kind of minutes in a long time, and just both sides of the court maybe made a huge difference. Just what did you maybe learn about Coleman tonight, just the way that he played?
I mean, our season has been all about, next man up mentality. Obviously with injuries, COVID, guys been sick. So, I mean, with Jake, getting injured, Coleman was ready to play. I think the biggest thing is his preparation. He's been unbelievable, leading up to this game, with his preparation, just being mentally focused and just, having fun and smiling, every time he's on the floor. I try to remind him, never put his head down because he's such a good player. So just, his focus of, knowing, what he's capable of, being out there on the floor with us, and his confidence is unbelievable. So he's been, really, really good for us.
Gabby?
For DeMonte and Trent, you guys have now cut down 2 nets together last year with the tournament and now today. How special is it, or what does it mean to you guys to have done this together the last 5 years?
It means a lot, to have a guy like that in Monte, to be able to be by his side, him be by my side, to go to war with every night, to know he got my back is special. Like I said, we stuck through the lows in this program, when we couldn't even get over 5 games in the Big Ten, to, storming the court, winning the Big Ten regular season, last year winning the Big Ten tournament. It's special. So, like I said, to be able to be a part of a program like this with him is special, and this bond will never be broken.
Did you guys make it a point to find each other in the kind of chaos out there? I mean, you guys walked off together pretty close to one another. So what was that like, finding one another? What was the first thing?
We always find each other.
What was the first thing you said to one another?
We just love each other, man. Like I said, the blood, sweat, and tears we both put into this program, being behind Coach Underwood and the coaching staff, is unbelievable. No one sees the amount of work we put in State Farm Center. For going 4 hours, 5 hours a day to 2 days. I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of hours we put into this team. So when we found each other, we hugged each other. And I almost passed out. It was too hot for me. It was too hot.
Jackson.
Get some water.
I mean, Trent and DeMonte, you guys went through the senior night festivities last year, but to do it again this year and then end your careers at State Farm Center, just what does it mean to be able to do that tonight, cutting down the net here?
It makes me feel twice as old, though. Go through 2 senior nights. But the emotions, to be able to walk out there and, hear, such the crowd and get applauding me while I walk out for my last game is unbelievable. I had goosebumps. I told myself I wouldn't cry. I teared up after the game, but this has been a home for me. This has been my home for 5 years, and like I said, this is my home forever. And I mean, all I can say is really, thank you to God. I mean, Coach Underwood, Josh Whitman in here, just giving me a chance, to be a part of this program, and just believing in the kid from Florida. So just taking me in and wanted me to be a part of, this team and help this program, get back to winning. So it's been an unbelievable, special journey for me. And, there's not any other team I would, rather wear a jersey for.
Right in the middle in the back.
Kofi, late in the game, you ran toward the bench and looked into the crowd and kind of yelled, and it really ignited the State Farm Center crowd. What was that moment like for you, and what kind of emotions were going through your head late in the game?
The moment just finds you. Sometimes like I never really plan on doing stuff like that. It's just like all the emotions, and the support that the fans show us. Sometimes when we go on runs like that, and the team's so connected, and you just feel it when it happens. It makes you so emotional when you do stuff like that. I was really happy. We got that stop. It was huge for us. I ran down the court. I was just so excited. Just in the moment. I was just enjoying the moment. It was really special.
Jeremy.
This is for Kofi and Trent. There was a chance you guys win 4 more games than every Big Ten team over the last 3 years and don't have a Big Ten championship in the regular season. How validating is it to get a banner to cut down the nets?
Yeah, I mean, getting the banner to cut down the nets, that's really special. It's been a while since Illinois team has done that. And, with these guys, like Trent said, all the sacrifices that we made. I don't know about before I came here, but I know that we made a lot of sacrifices after I came here as well. And just like fighting each other in practice, pushing each other to get better. Like this is really special and it's important for us because that's one of our goals for this season. So it was just exciting. It was really special for us, man.
Mark and Urban.
I mean, like you said, our season has been, very interesting from, COVID, the injuries. It's been all next man up. But, like he said, no one knows, what we, go through in practice, from beating each other up, from hanging out at departments, back to beating each other up in practice. 4 hours, 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day spinning in the oven. It's incredible, to see how close, this team has become, and, the passion, we all have for each other. So it's special. This is a special team, and, we've grown in a lot of areas, and, I couldn't be happy for this team.
Yeah, and not to take anything away from the banner, but these guys are really special. They're winners, man. I don't care what happened the first 3 years they've been here. We won the most games in the Big Ten in the last 3 years, and that's something special. That's something to embrace. These guys are gonna go out as winners and champions. So, regardless of what happened, they're champions in my eyes, and they're winners.
Far back. Yeah, this applies to this can apply to all of you. But just having won the regular season Big Ten title, what are your mindsets heading into the Big Ten tournament? Just having won it last year, are you looking to repeat and kind of prove to the rest of the league that you're still on top?
When we wake up tomorrow, we should kind of erase this. It's a new season. Like I said, we gotta prep for Friday, and that's got to be our mindset. Obviously, we're gonna take this, this break, recover. But when we get back into the gym, our mindset's got to be, we can't lose no more games. And that's, like I said, us being vets, we got to come in with the mindset of, setting the tone and the energy to have our guys ready, mentally prepared, for what's ahead of us, in Indianapolis and, and moving forward to March. So, like I said, the biggest thing is just being mentally focused, coming in, after this regular season.
All right, Doug.
Yeah, for all three of you, we haven't mentioned 2 huge threes by 2 freshmen, RJ and Luke Goody came in and made huge shots. Do you feel like you're leaving a legacy to those guys and have established a culture for the program moving forward with the young guys?
Yeah, definitely, man. Those 2 kids are really special. Now I truly believe in my heart that they're going to be 2 of the best players in the Big Ten someday. They've been making huge impacts since day one. Whenever they step on the court, Luke Goody is one of the hardest workers I've seen and one of the best young leaders I've ever seen in my life. And RJ, as you've seen, he makes big time plays. He's athletic more than I've ever seen. And those 2 guys are going to continue to make strides, and they're really special. They're really important to us, and they know that they will continue to be special for us in the future because we have a long way to go.
Kofi, I think you started out 1 of 5 today. Just have you figured out a way, either mentally or emotionally, to just kind of get yourself refocused and recentered when that kind of a start happens?
Yeah, definitely. My coaches do a really good job with just reiterating, take your time. Don't worry about that. It happened already. That's like having a forgetful, being forgetful basically, not letting that bother me, and determine what happens in the future. So it's about controlling you can't control your thoughts, but you can always control your actions and how you respond to stuff, So just just focusing up, slowing down, seeing where the double is coming from, seeing how I could correct it and make the shot, So just about slowing down and just being calm and composed.
Gabby.
Kofi, aside from things on the court with DeMonte and Trent, what have you really taken away from them being here these past 5 years, and what have they taught you about just being a player at this program?
Iron sharpens iron, man. These 2 guys have been tremendous off the court. It was helping me, They're like mentors, They're older dudes, and they've been here for a while, and they know what it takes. So since day one, these dudes have been mentoring me. Trent never lets me take a day off. DeMonte is that cool, level-headed guy that, you could always talk to him about anything, So these 2 guys definitely hold me accountable, and they're 2 of the